Hello guys, we're very happy to have you here. Could you start by introducing yourselves?
My name is Anup. I play drums.
My name is Devesh. I play guitar.
My name's Dan. I sing.
I'm Keshav and I play guitar.
Right, let's jump right in. We're all here at Euroblast, and this is your first gig outside of India. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So are you excited?
Well,
Oh yeah.
Very
Yeah.
excited.
yeah, Uber.
Pretty.
What do you guys think of this year's lineup?
I'm
It's
excited.
just banging, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
right.
incredible.
Yeah.
I think the day we're playing on Saturday, I think like has, for me personally, the best lineup, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be playing on that day.
After
like
the
Jeff
burial.
Loomis, after the burial,
I'm pretty-
monuments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be
The
awesome.
amount of talent at this festival is crazy.
Yeah.
Every year it's just like, it's better and better and better.
Yeah.
For Keshav and I, especially, it's like crazy to be here because we've never even been to any shows outside India. Like
And
this is totally different atmosphere for
I
us.
mean, like last year at Euroblast, I was planning to just like fly down from there. I was planning to like save up a lot of money, fly down, just watch, and we're playing this time. So it's a little like it's crazy, man. It's awesome.
Okay, Keshav,
Yeah.
in a recent interview, you stated that you wanted to wait with live performances.
I'm sorry. What's that?
You wanted to wait with live performances until you had a solid set of fresh and original material. Can you tell us what Blinding White Noise is all about?
Can someone else answer this question? Okay, no. I
You're
mean,
the one
yeah, it's basically like the best songs that I wrote over the last 4 or 5 years, and I mean, lots of obsessive tweaking and like one and obviously taken to like a completely new level with all the awesome musicians that are on the album. So like once I felt that was good to go, then. Well, the thing is with live performance, everything just sort of fell into my lap. Like first, Anup happened to just fall into my lap, and then Dan fell into my lap.
That sounds so bad.
Yeah. Oh shit. No, everything just like sort of fell into place. Really, just like clockwork. Yeah.
So you collaborated with a lot of interesting musicians for
Yeah.
this record, including Dan.
Yes, absolutely.
So how did you get in contact with them?
I just got a message on MySpace one day from Dan saying that he'd heard an instrumental version of Order 66 on YouTube, and that whether I'd be interested in him doing guest vocals on it. So I was like, yeah, no shit. Yeah, I mean that was awesome. So I mean like, so when I sent him that song, I also sent him a bunch of other songs just to check out, and he liked it and he wanted to sing on those as well. So, and then it just like sort of went from there, and then. We thought, why don't we just like, instead of just him singing over finished songs, which I've already done, why don't we just like try and, get some sort of collaborative effort going? And that was when the last couple of songs happened. Aurora, Meva, Night. So, yeah, that was how it really just happened.
It was just meant to be the one.
Yeah, it was meant to be the one song.
wasn't
One
it?
song, yeah.
And it was weird for me because I was in Tesseract at
Yeah,
the time.
exactly.
So I was kind of putting the feelers out and guesting on a few different bands stuff, And really enjoyed the stuff he was writing. Felt it was really fresh. And kind of went from there. Ended up doing an album, which we were going to release ourselves actually.
Yeah,
just
we
to
were
put
actually
it
going
out
to release
there.
it. Yeah. And at the last minute, Basick came into the picture, and they were like, would you want to wait for a while and release this in order to hit the maximum amount of audience possible?
Yeah.
And
It's
they
right
gave
around
us
the time of NE7.
right around, just like
Our
literally
first show.
days before, and we were in this really weird position because the album was done and we had announced that it would be out on a certain date, and just a couple of days before that date, we announced that it's going to be delayed again. So people were pissed, but I think it all made sense once we announced the signing, because that really did. Whoa. that really did take everything to another level. Yeah. Is that a B?
Yeah.
Shit.
Calm down.
Okay, yeah.
And why did you decide to go with two separate vocalists?
I'm sorry?
Why did you decide to go with two separate vocalists?
I never really decided to go with two separate vocalists. The deal was that the first 2-3 songs that I'd written, I was already collaborating with a vocalist for that. That was Sunny from Moth, who you can hear on this second CD. And like the newer material, like he hadn't done vocals on it, but at the same time, like he's got that, he's into the harsh vocals thing, and I felt that like the way my writing was evolving was like a lot of emphasis on melody, on you know, not so much on just aggression or just like, you know, just riffing out, but it was more like about ambience, more about emotion, you know, like emotional music. Yeah, which I've sort of realized is, I think, what I'm really best at doing, what we all are really best at doing, at least in this band. That's what our strength is. So that called for like a different kind of voice, and like I said, you know, this collaboration like just sort of happened, and it couldn't have been any more perfect. It was just absolutely perfect. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So Anup, besides Skyharbor, you also play drums for Jeff Loomis and Intervals, who have an upcoming EP. And you even release your own stuff sometimes, which, by the way, is very well received on Gagged.com. You also play with Chimp's banner for the US tour. How did you manage all these different projects?
I don't know. To be completely honest, I don't know. Everything has just worked out so far, where it's just worked out. I don't know how, but the timing has just always fallen into place. And yeah, they're like right now, Intervals is about to be on tour, and they had to find a replacement drummer to fill in for the tour because I'm in Europe with Jeff. And but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll get more hectic in the future, my schedules with everything, but that's really all I can say. It really just worked out somehow that I was able to find time for all three projects. So.
Right, so all of these projects, they're spread all over the globe. You must travel tons.
Yeah, it's neat.
Is it more challenging as a musician to be part of different projects instead of focusing on one band?
Yes and no. I mean, the reason why I really like being part of numerous bands is because it's constantly keeping me busy. So there's constantly material that I have to learn, write, or rehearse, or there's something always to do. And if I was just with Jeff, I would be home for several months and then go on a tour and then be home for several months. So it's really nice being constantly active, and that's kind of what I wanted to do for the longest time. And so I did my best to make that a reality. So.
Okay. All right. Well, the same goes for you, Dan. Skyharbor, Black Moth, White Butterfly, Haji's Kitchen.
You got that.
White Moth,
Abs
Black
and
White
Hearts.
Moth, Black Butterfly.
Sorry. And Abs and Hearts. How do you juggle all these projects?
Yeah, you have to be good at timekeeping, I guess. Plus, I've got a lot of time on my hands anyway, so that helps. But yeah, these are all things that I've kind of been working on in the background for the last, 3 or 4 years when I've had the time. Like for the White Moth, Black Butterfly stuff, it's just my own kind of writing really. It's all programmed, ambient, electronic vibes. I'm trying to do some vocal work on that at the minute as well. And Keshav's actually helping me produce the album, which I'm hoping to get out as soon as possible. Self-releasing it, just getting it out there really, seeing what people think of it. And again, Abs and Hearts is just a collaboration with a guy called Scott Kay, who's from Australia. Again, I heard some really nice soft proggy rock tunes on the net. Just approached him as well and said, "Hey, do you want me to sing on this song?" And then it turned into like 9-10 tracks of an album. And that's purely because I had the freedom to do so, And it's the same with you in a lot of respects. With Tesseract at the time, it was a case of go on tour and then be at home for long periods of time. What do you do with that time to make it, really impactful, to improve your songwriting abilities, improve my own voice, just get more involved in the scene, As a musician, as a singer, you have to kind of dive in and absorb it, don't you?
Productive all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so a while ago you hinted on Facebook that you found a permanent project without actually revealing it. Are you ready to unveil it?
I don't see why not, actually. Why not? The band's called In Colour, okay? And it's a bunch of guys from the UK. We've been friends for a long time. We've been writing some, it's more mainstream material, very, very well-written songs. I can't really say too much more than that, other than we're hoping to release a video in the next month. So I don't know what date. So what's the date today? 18th? 19th? 19th. So 4 weeks from today, you might see something on the internet. Might shock you. it's not what you'd expect from me to do. But it's like I say, it's really well written stuff. So we have an album written, hoping to get it out there and start touring really. So excited about that. In terms of Skyharbor stuff as well, you know, we've got a great working relationship, and it's really nice to have that kind of songwriting partner where it's so easy to, you know, get songs from Keshav, we talk about it, and I just lay my ideas down, everyone else gets involved. And I think to write another album together is going to be, it'll be easy, and that's something that we actively want to do. And I would love to be in a position where ultimately, you know, because my future is very unstable at the minute, I don't know where I'm going to be, but if time permits and I have the freedom to do so, then we're going to take it further and tour, I think.
Great.
But it's just a bit uncertain.
I mean, this band has so many like awesome songwriters in it. You know, it's like no one in this band is just doing Skyharbor except me. You know, Dan has a dozen projects. Anup has a dozen projects. Devesh has his other band who are very active. They're an awesome band called God is Gagged. You should check them out. Our bassist, who's not here right now, he's a part of about 27 different bands in India. Everyone's like a really awesome songwriter. I mean, you've heard Anup's solo stuff. I mean, you should check out Devesh's band. You've heard Dan. You know, yeah. So it's really challenging because every time I write something now, I have to be like, okay, this has to be up to standard so that you know it gets a seal of approval from everyone. You know, what do you do when there's so many brilliant minds all at work together? You know, but it should be really exciting. This second album.
And now we know that we're doing this live. I think that that's going to change things a little bit because we kind of went, do what the hell you want.
Yeah, on the album it was just a question.
Which was great.
Yeah,
it turned out really well. So
I was like, oh shit.
Well, then trying to for me, trying to sing this stuff live is nigh on impossible. So we've had to really kind of juggle things about and reorganise it a bit, make it, you know, singable.
Right, so back to what you said earlier about this new project of yours being more mainstream and something that maybe we wouldn't expect from you. It says here that when you parted ways with Tesseract, some people were saying that you were going to join a boy band.
Yeah, that's just vicious rumours, man. I mean, believe me, when I first joined Tesseract, you know, singing over metal, at that particular time, over, you know, gentle, whatever you want to call it, wasn't that popular, I don't think. So it was met with mixed reception. You know, I had some abuse. You know, people saying, "Oh, this guy's gay. He sings like a woman." So what? But yeah, it kind of just progressed from there, really. And what was the question?
Anyway, so Keshav, the music scene is in India is probably a lot different from.
He was like, okay, no, never mind. He didn't like. I don't think he fully answered your last question.
Oh, so good, man. I think I kind of got this.
It's not a boy band as far as.
Yeah.
It's not a boy band. No, it's not. It's not. It has rock sensibilities, but it's kind of. It's with the melody aspect. You know, we find writing, you know, songs. You know, we have to put melody in there, and we find. And to be fair, we don't necessarily want to be niche. Okay, we would like to appeal to as many people as possible, and I do think that writing solid melody within the vocals is a great way to, you know, capture everybody as opposed to a certain group. And I think that's the way ultimately to make further steps. To make this more of a possibility. You know, you have to reach a bigger audience, and that's just one way of doing it. So, yeah, to answer your question, it's not a pop band, but it does have pop sensibilities in the melody.
Okay, and for our audience, what was the name of that project one more time?
In Colour.
In Colour.
In Colour.
Okay, so Keshav, the music scene in India probably differs a lot from its European counterpart.
Absolutely.
How could you describe it in a nutshell?
Well, it's an interesting question. Like the scene is great. Like it's slowly developing. It's way better than it was 10 years ago. We're in 2012. 2002, the scene back in India was like 80 to 90% cover bands. Just cover bands covering Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden. You know, like you go to like. I think that's Ollie Steele being Ollie Steele. What was I saying? It was like, you know, you go to the biggest concerts in the country and you watch Indian bands performing, and they would be performing cover songs. But that really changed, like say in like 2006. I think that was like this one year where everything really sort of like changed, because this whole crop of young bands came up who were writing like awesome original songs, like really good, strong original material. And the concept of just like going up on stage and playing someone else's songs wasn't cool anymore. So as it stands now, it's great. We're a little mollycoddled, I think. The bands, they're treated very well.
In comparison
To what it's like in Europe. I think the bands are treated really well. Almost a little too well, because, they have unrealistic expectations of what it's like to be, say, on the road, or, like what it's like anywhere else in the world. Like, for example, any small to mid-level band in India would get like all expenses paid trips, if they're like playing somewhere, and like a nice, decent, fat performance fee. This is when they have not that many shows under their belt, not even an album out, nothing,
The concept of like touring on the road, like in a van, it doesn't exist in India. It doesn't happen.
Over there, you get flights. Like
you fly out to one show. If you happen to have another show in the next 2 days, you go fly there as well.
Like, and I think it's so different over here. You see, like, I saw the Loomis tour bus, like driving from city to city. That really doesn't exist there. And I think like, it'll evolve, it'll progress. I think people will figure it out sooner or later. It's not easy.
No, but the next 2 months are going to be crazy.
Yeah, the next 2 months.
Like, I was just telling some people last night, I think some of you guys I was telling, the next 2 months we have like a ton of bands coming to India. It's a great opportunity for all of us, because like I'm playing with my other band, we're playing with Periphery.
Yeah, they're playing with
and Gojira's playing, Testament.
Testament is playing.
Megadeth's just played a few days. Yeah, Carnival's coming back for second time.
Yeah, second time.
Rumors about Meshuggah coming again.
Slayer's coming.
Yeah, Slayer's playing tomorrow, actually.
What?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And just tons more. Like, not even just metal, but like just everything.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of
hopefully
stuff happening.
Hopefully it's going to continue on like this, and maybe like more of these bands are going to pick up some indie bands and take them on tour, because I think that's what needs to happen.
There's some really good bands in India that everyone should check out. One is this band called Scribe. I just plug them wherever the hell I go. They're awesome. You must check them out. They're from Mumbai. They're really, really good. You must check them out.
What about live music? Bands like Textures play shows in front of 5,000 people in India. Is progressive metal big in India?
Yep. It is.
Yeah. Tesseract played to 10,000 people.
Oh.
And this was
that
not...
was a real... I never expected that. Coming to India, it's unheard of for us, really, as a band, being such a low level that, we were at the time. And yeah, flying out to India and then playing to 10,000 people, it's like, why is this? Why? Well, no, it's great. I think there's people tend to, go to live shows more, don't they? People flock.
Yeah.
Maybe because the tickets are so cheap, maybe?
Yeah, the tickets are cheap. But it's also like, say in Europe, for example, I'm sure that you have awesome bands coming on tour to every city just about every other week, right? Like, I'm sure Cologne itself this month would have seen like 5 awesome major label bands, playing in the city. That doesn't happen there. So it's like, when a band, an international band, like a good international band comes down to India, it's treated as a really big event. People make sure you never know when it might happen again, or if it is ever going to happen again. People make sure they get out there. They go to watch. Tesseract played to 10,000 people, and that wasn't even in like a big town or something. It was in this really out of the way student town, like in the northeast of India.
That was the one you went to. I went to a different show.
No, that was IIT Kharagpur where they played.
Oh no, that was the huge one.
Yeah. And the GIR tour, the Great Indian Rock tour that they played the year before that was great. But I believe that one was like really huge.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's a big appeal for a lot of bands as well. It's nice to play to that amount of people, and reach that kind of audience as well.
Dan is huge in India. They love him.
And I love them too.
So you also produce other bands' music.
Yeah.
Most recently, you worked on Limit Zero's debut album.
Yeah.
What's it like working with another band's material compared to the stuff you write?
Well, I've actually been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years now. Like, that's what I do for a living. It's cool. Like, the thing is, like, my approach towards the whole production thing is that I'm not interested in doing it if all you want me to do is just like press buttons.
Yeah.
That's anyone can do that. But yeah, I make sure that the bands are cool if I offer suggestions. or I mean, like obviously I'm not gonna like offer unwanted advice or something, but it's gotta be where I'm producing, where I'm not just like, okay, you know, and like.
Makes it a bit more creative for you.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, you want to like bounce off ideas, and sometimes you have this suggestion where this riff sounds really cool, this band is playing a really cool riff, but you're like, man, if you just did this one little thing, it would sound like 5 times better, you know? So things like that, you know.
Yeah.
I really enjoy getting into that. I really like doing that.
So that's all we wanted to ask.
Cool.
Do you have anything to add?
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you
Thanks
for
for
the
having us.
awesome
Yeah,
support
thank-
from like
yeah.
you know gotgen.com.
Yeah, it's really
incredible.
cool.
Thank you.
Really awesome.
Thanks.
All right, so we have a gotgent.com T-shirt for you guys to fight over. Somebody asked for a small.
There's only one. There's only one person who can wear that.
Might fit you actually. Yeah, man, sorted.
Sweet.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you guys.